All praises be to the Most High, the only sovereign one, the faithful one, the loving one. My dear brothers and sisters, when I think about you and what all you may be thinking and going through, and as you're working at getting closer to our Father, I so often wish we could all be in the same place, helping each other through this, encouraging each other, being able to see others. Because if you live in a place like I live, I'm pretty much alone. And even though I do know a few people, so it's not like there aren't other people here, that they're scattered and I don't get to see them much, but I know they're here. We don't even talk that much anymore because we are so different in how we believe. So to be with someone who's like-minded, it's very rare. But it's encouraging to know that the one who's everywhere and knows all things and does all things well, and says that everywhere we go, he'll be with us. It is so good to know that he is with you, even as he is with me. So that gives us a little bit of a connection. But I really do long for some true fellowship. True fellowship. And I'm not talking about being with those who know more than I do, because there's lots of people who know more than I do. Like, I don't know the Hebrew language. I know, or language, I should say tongue, because they say language really isn't a really good word. But I know a little bit of the alphabet, a little bit. But when I do learn a new word, oh my goodness, it means so much to me. It's like it fills a hole, a tiny prick hole in my heart and my soul. It just seems so real, so true, so right. But I'm not talking about being around with those people. I'm talking about people who love him, who love Yah. And don't get upset if you like ruffle a feather, or something. Just but anyways, that is not why I came before you today. The title of this audio is Watch, Hear, so we're not deceived. And then watch and hear some more, and just have that heart before Yah so that he would be willing to protect us from deception. So I did a post, and maybe some of you have seen it, but I'm doing an audio to go along with that post. Last night I watched a video. I had seen it a couple of days ago, and I went searching back through my watch videos because I didn't really watch it. I had started it, and so I went back and I found it, and so I did watch it. And then while doing that, I saw another one in my feed that was along the same line, and it was explaining that the drones that were in the air a few weeks ago are orbs sent from Abba for his chosen ones. So I've only watched one of the videos. I haven't watched the other person and what he has to say. He's well known in this family of believers. Then it's what I want to say to you, and even to myself, to be encouraged and not afraid, nor dismayed, to we who are striving to live by Yah's laws and precepts. So that if we have not seen orbs, and if we feel that it might be a sign that we have not met his expectations, and that maybe beginning to wonder if we're lost because we haven't, we do not know what they are and what they truly mean. We don't even know what they are and what they truly mean. But we do know our relationship with Yah. We do know that we have changed our ways, and we choose to walk closer with him more and more every day. So as we continue to follow his laws, to live set apart lives, we should also strive to continue to deny ourselves, so that we know that we are pleasing to Him. These are things that we know. So we will continue to follow His laws, and we will continue to live set apart, and we will continue to strive to continue to deny ourselves as we make more moves to come out from Babylon, heeding more intently and attentively to the words of His voice. As His sheep, we know His voice, and another we won't follow. We know we heard Him when we heard His name first introduced to us. We know we heard Him when He called us out of religion. We heard Him when He took us back to meditating on His law to make it our way of life. So when we remember that there's always been a select few, through His word we've seen, a select few that He visited in phenomenal ways because of their call, their assignment that He had given them. But that didn't mean that there weren't other faithful ones. They just weren't called for that assignment. So if this is the case now with the drones or the orbs that they're calling them, we will not falter or be dismayed that it wasn't us, that we haven't seen them, that we haven't been visited by them. We will keep to our assignment to love Him and keep His commandments. So I feel we should not base seeing or not seeing orbs as an indication of our allegiance to Yahuah, the Most High, nor base it on whether we have been accepted or not accepted. The book of Hazon, or the book of Revelation, reads of a time when people will take a mark of the enemy, and then there are times when He will have marks put on His people. Yah will have marks put on us. And then there's a time when people are going to take the mark of the enemy, the mark of the beast. Those taking the enemy's mark are doomed for destruction. One of the times that it's mentioned in the book of Hazon that Yah is going to be putting a mark on His people, that mark is going to protect us from tormenting locusts. Those locusts are going to torment men for 5 months, and they're going to seek to die and can't die. But we're going to be protected from that because His mark will be on us. So, dear brothers and sisters, I encourage us to keep our ears and eyes open to Yah, so when He speaks, we hear, and when He moves, we move. I encourage us to stay close to Him, meditate on His laws day and night, and don't depart from them. As in Tehillim 1 and in Joshua 1, it talks about meditating on His laws day and night. And when we do that, we'll prosper as trees. And then in Joshua, it talks about prospering also when we meditate on His laws day and night and don't let them depart from us. I'm feeling some people are wondering what this means for them, these orbs, whether we're seeing them or not. What does it mean for us if we haven't seen them? What is our perception and closeness to Father if we've not been visited by a drone/orb? Precious, precious, sincere people of Yah, you have daily visits. If you are those who cling to Him and revere to Him, Yah is often visiting us. And He knows how to confirm our relationship with Him and however He wants to do it. Because our relationships are one-on-one. They're personal. And they're private. So let's continue to get closer to him and more pleasing to him. He is so sweet, and he is so loving, and he is so kind, so kind. Tahalim 135, I think it says, his loving commitment or his loving kindness endures forever. Let's continue to spend time with him. And today, when we spend time with him, let's thank him for his closeness to us and his kindness and his faithfulness to us. And if we got a little off, thinking, wondering who we are, where we are with him, let's apologize to him and just move closer to him. Let's continue to grow greater in knowledge of his presence and his realness to us, each individual one of us. And if he doesn't feel close, then we must check to see if we have moved, because he's promised never to leave us nor abandon us. He doesn't move. He told Joshua that he's with him everywhere he goes. And my dear brothers and sisters, it is our promise also. Everywhere we go. Let's work to find the entrance to his secret place and run into his place of safety and security, and know that we are chosen. And we're chosen because of our choice to love him and keep his commandments, to choose him above all else, to have no other before him. And let's concentrate on that. Because when we do that, he is sure to share with us what we need to know to be able to make it. I like to read a few verses from the Word. I'm starting with Yahuah 24, based on Yahuah 24. While Yahushua sat on the Mount of Olives, the Talmudim, disciples or taught ones, came to him privately and said, Yahushua, tell us, what will be the sign of your coming and of the end of completion of the age? Yahushua answered them, be careful that no one misleads you, that no one deceives you and leads you into error. For many will come in my name and in the strength of my name, appropriating the name that belongs to me. They'll use my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and they will lead many astray. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not frightened or troubled, for this must take place, but the end is not yet. And if anyone says to you, then behold, here is the Hamashiach, or there he is, do not believe it. For false anointings and false prophets will arise, and they will show great signs and wonders for the purpose to deceive and lead astray, and if possible, even the elect, my chosen ones. So see, it's not going to be possible, but it's going to take us knowing him to not be deceived, because if it were possible, we could be deceived. That's how great the deceptions are going to be, the signs and the great signs and wonders. Verse 25, see, I have warned you beforehand. So if they say to you, behold, he is in the wilderness or the desert, do not go out there. If they tell you, behold, he's in the secret places or in inner rooms, do not believe it. For false anointings and false prophets will arise, and they will show great signs and wonders for the purpose to deceive and lead astray. Based on Hazon or Revelations 13, beginning with verse 11. Then I saw another beast rising up out of the land, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spoke, he roared like a dragon. Now listen to this. He had 2 horns like a lamb, and he roared like a dragon. Dragons don't even roar. So look, there's something there. There's something there. There's a message here, right there. Looks like a lamb, roars like a dragon. We need to look into that. He exerts all the power and right of control of the former beast in his presence and causes the earth and those who dwell upon it to exalt and deify the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed, and to reverence him. Let me tell you something. These people are propping people up and making them be higher than they ought to be. And this is what deify the first beast. But they're so used to quote unquote following people. And I've said so many times on my audios, we don't follow nobody but the shepherd, the great shepherd, our king, the only sovereign one. Okay, I got off, so I got to go back and read. Okay, so he exerts all the power and right of control of the former beast in his presence. So in the presence of this former beast, he's going to be exerting all power, and he's going to cause the earth and those who dwell on it to exalt and deify the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed, and to reverence him. He's going to perform great signs, startling miracles, even making fire fall from the sky to the earth in men's sight. And because of the signs and miracles that he is allowed to perform in the presence of the first beast, he deceives those who inhabit the earth, commanding them to erect a statue and image in the likeness of the beast who was wounded by the small sword and still lived. And he is permitted also to impart the breath of life into the beast's image, so that the statue of the beast could actually talk and be caused to be put to death those who would not bow down and worship the image of the beast. People are so used to spectacular things, and they're so, oh my goodness, so impressed with these things. So when he breathes life into this image and it comes to life, they're going to be amazed. Those are the people who don't know Yah, who don't know truth. The elect, if it were possible, we would be deceived. But it's not possible because we are in the secret place of the Most High. We hear only the voice of our shepherd. So it goes on to say, he also compels all, both small and great, both rich and poor, both free and slave, to be marked with an inscription or stamped on their right hands or their foreheads, so that no one will have power to buy or sell unless he bears the stamp or that inscription or mark. That is the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is room for discernment. Here is room for a call for wisdom or of interpretation. Let anyone who has intelligence and insight enough to calculate the number of the beast, for it is a human number, the number of a certain man, and his number is 666. I remember a few years ago there was a man on TV, and he had behind him, like the backdrop, those same numbers. It's very interesting. It was very alarming. Mark 13, verse 19. I don't know, maybe some of y'all should have seen it, because it was when a lot of things were being broadcasted because of a calamity that had come upon the earth, the world. Yeah. Mark 13, verse 19. For at that time there will be such affliction, oppression, and tribulation, as has not been from the beginning of the creation that Yahuah created until this particular time that's coming. And positively never will be like this again. And unless Yahuah has shortened the days, no human being will be saved or rescued. This is when I think about y'all, my brothers and sisters, and if we could all be in the same camp, physical camp. We're in the same spiritual camp, but not the same physical camp. But for the sake of the elect, his chosen ones, those whom he picked out for himself, He has shortened the days. Now he's saying there's something he's picked out for himself as elect, but he doesn't say anything about how we're going to be visited to know. But for our sake, he has shortened the days. He's already shortened the days. He's already shortened the days. It's not going to happen longer than the 1260 days or whatever days he's permitted and said it's going to be. It's not going to be any longer than that. He's already said it. And we know creation obeys him, all but man. We struggle to obey him. The majority of man revolts, refusing. That's why we're his. Have you heard the audio that says those who revere Yahuah are special people? That audio was a few days ago. So he has shortened the days for us. And then if anyone says to you, see, here is Hamashiach, or look, there he is, do not believe it. False Mashiachs and false prophets will arise and show signs and work miracles. We just read about that in his own. To deceive. It's for the purpose of deceiving and leading astray, so they know what they're doing. And if possible, even the elect, those Yah has chosen for himself. But he's not going to be able to get us. Not the true ones. But look to yourselves and be on your guard. I have told you everything beforehand. So the title of this audio is Watch Here, so we're not deceived. And he says here, look to yourself and be on guard. Luke 21, verse 34, but take heed to yourselves and be on guard, lest your hearts be overburdened and depressed and weighed down with giddiness, so that the days does not come upon you suddenly like a trap or a noose. So, take heed to yourselves and be on guard. Because if we're not, our hearts are going to be overburdened and depressed and weighed down with giddiness, all silly and caught up with what's going on in the world. But we're going to take heed to ourselves, and we are going to be on guard, so it doesn't take us as a trap, a noose. For it will come upon all who live upon the face of the entire earth. Keep awake then and watch at all times. Be discreet, attentive, and ready. Have you heard the audio, Will We Be Ready? The We Win audio, Will You Be Ready? I listened to that this morning and I was like, oh my goodness, this is good. Brothers and sisters, let's be discreet and attentive, and let's be ready, requesting that you may have the full strength and ability to be accounted worthy to escape all these things that will take place and to stand in the presence of the Son of Man. You know, there's a headache and a sick feeling that comes from self-indulgence and drunkenness, that worldly things that the world worries about. If we get caught up in worrying about those things, it just affects our health. It affects our spiritual life. It affects everything about us when we get caught up in there. It's like we're breathing a different air. It's a whole different atmosphere when we come out from under Yahuah, when we come out from that presence with him. There's a different fragrance and a way of thinking, and you can feel the atmosphere, the frequency and the vibrations in the atmosphere when you're around certain people. I just went through that. It was odd. Even this morning as I was taking my granddaughter to school, when I finally got out of this one little situation, I was like, I could feel the craziness right there with those cars. So I don't know what was actually going on, but it was strange. Remember that we cannot serve two masters. We cannot love the world and love the Father. Those who straddle the fence are lukewarm. And remember, in his own, he said he will spew them out of his mouth. He'd rather we were hot or cold. And those who have one foot still in Babylon, They're not going to be able to feel Yah's tug of warning to protect them from deception. You know, he doesn't do anything with mixture. He doesn't like mixture. And he's not going to share us with no one. Oh, he's not going to share us with nobody. I don't blame him, because we're tainted. We are polluted. So, brothers and sisters, we cannot afford to be amazed at modern technology and all this newness that they got coming out and everything. That we can't be. Whatever's going on in the world, that's their stuff. Tahaleen 91 says that when they get the reward, that only with our eyes will we be able to see the reward of the wicked. Well, we should be everything. We should be like looking in a window, looking at what they're doing, having nothing to do with it. We should not be found all caught up in their stuff. So we should not be amazed at what's going on with them. And we cannot afford to be like Lot's wife. Got out of the city, was on her way to recovery, a new life, free of it, and she turned around and was told not to turn around. We should by now be seeing the handwriting on the wall, where we're at, how things are going, not surprised. Because like he said, several different verses, different chapters, different books that he's told us beforehand. So we've been warned. Deception is at an all-time high. We read those 2 verses where they said that the deception is on purpose to lead us astray. Let's not eat of that tree, partake of that tree. We've been warned. We've been warned. Let's stay away from that which we're not. That's true. Touch not, handle not. So we have to daily work on ourselves, because we were brought up in this world, and now we're discarding things, getting rid of things that we know are not pleasing to Father, and things that are going to weigh us down and not allow us to make it. Salama, Shalom. All praises be to you. The peace of the Most High be upon you. May he smile upon us, his face shine upon us. Continue to prosper us in our way as he encourages us. Let's be encouraged, and let's stay in the state of courage. And remember that we win in Yah. Let's be still. Let's be slow to speak. Let's be swift to hear and slow to wrath. Let's watch. Let's hear. Let's know Yah so we're not deceived. And rely on what you know. And you know that you love Yahuah. You know that you've changed your ways and that you're choosing to walk closer to him. You know that you are following his laws so that you can live set apart lives. We also know that we're making moves to come out of Babylon more and more. We know these things. There's so many things that are happening that we're not aware of yet. But if we seek him on it, he will reveal it. Let's continue to have a love for truth, a love to please him, and a desire to go closer to him. I am so near tears. I'm very concerned for us. But this is a time that we can be excited, that we're going to see his hand move again like he did for the children of Yashrael when they were in bondage in Misrite, and with the Misrites, and Misraim was having all types of calamities, but it wasn't touching Goshen. We're going to see those things if we have that mindset. And we have to have that mindset. So let's be encouraged. Let's be excited about us winning in Yah. And even if some fall, meaning their lives are taken, not that they fall in the spirit, but they remain faithful. Because enduring to the end doesn't mean that we may all be alive when this comes to an end. It just means that if our lives are taken, if we stop breathing on this world, because they can't have anything that Yah gave us. Yah gave us life. Yahuah gave us life. So if they try to snatch us out from this presence, we will be immediately with Father. But we still win. So let's be encouraged. Let's get the mindset that we are excited because we're on the winning side. And however Father wants to do it, he's going to do it right. If we get that mindset, all the things that's going on, the craziness, it's not going to bother us. We just say, thank you, y'all. Our redemption draws nigh. We're getting closer and closer, closer and closer to eternity. May you help us to be on the winning side, to not defect, but that we choose to stand with you no matter what comes or goes. We are standing with you, Father. We are standing with you. For this is the winning side, no matter what comes and goes. There's a song I listen to sometimes. He says, he's been, I don't get the words right, but he says somehow all he's been through. And he told Satan, you're still going to lose because I cannot lose because I'm with Yahuah, or something like that. And I always chuckle. I said, that's true. No matter what comes and goes, we have to have that winning mindset that we win. How can we not win when we're with the triumphant one, the invincible one, the one who has all power, the one who speaks? And it is so. We win. We have been chosen. He has picked us out. Is that not enough sign to know who we are? He told the scribes and Pharisees that generation looked for a sign. But the sign they were looking for, they don't want to see that sign. He was standing looking at them. We got him. He's got us. We're on the winning side. I was reading the other day, yesterday, and Tahalim said that how the wicked, they seem to prosper. And it seems like nothing ever goes wrong for them. But that's just an illusion. And whatever they do happen to prosper in is temporary, because this earth is going to be burned up in fervent heat. And this world system is no more, because the ruler of this world has a place destined for him that's in the lake of fire. So it's us who wins. Be encouraged, brothers and sisters. Much peace be unto you. Don't rely so much on the outward signs to determine whether you are or are not in the bosom of the Most High. You better know it. If we don't know it, then we're subject to be led astray. We're subject to be deceived. We got to know who we are. Without signs or with signs, we have to know what we know. And if we're in a real relationship with him, we already know. Don't let it shake you. If you haven't seen a drone or an orb hanging around your window or over your house or your vehicle, don't let that be the only sign to let you know who you are. Know because you know. Know because it's you who likes to read the Torah. You go through the laws and you read and you look for him in his words. Know that it's him by he wakes you up and talks to you or works things out. He's with you in your shopping. He's with you when you're doing housework or at your job. Just different things that he lets us know that he's with us. Tahalim 139, The writer talks about how they know that Yahuah is with them. They know it. That's us. My thoughts are far off. You knew me when I was rotten and curiously rotten the lowest parts of the earth. And I always say, before my mom and my daddy knew that they had performed a great work, that I was going to soon be known. He already knew me. He told Yahuah, same thing. I knew you in your mother's womb. We are the called according to his purpose. We are the elect. We are the chosen. And we just know it. So be not deceived. If you haven't seen anything, any sign in the sky, hovering over your house or your vehicle, or looking in your window, if you haven't seen any lights, special lights, you better know that the one who is light, the one who is truth, abides in you. He leads and guides you. And we need to abide in him. And there's another message on that about abiding, to see what that means. It's an earlier message, audio. But I got to go. I've been here longer than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be just long enough to encourage you. And I hope I have encouraged you. Let's encourage one another. Let's rejoice because of what side we're on. The winning side. We are more than conquerors. We are overcomers because of who leads us, who guides us, who lives in us, who loves us, who talks to us. I love you, brothers and sisters in Yahuah. I tell you that all the time, and I do truly mean it. Be encouraged. Be encouraged in Yah. Why don't you read Joshua 1, I think it's like verses 1 through 5. How he encourages Joshua so that you can feel encouraged too. He said, wherever your feet go, just read it. Just read it so you can feel his closeness. He's wonderful to us. And he's looking forward to us being with him on the other side. Remember that time when Yahushua told the taught ones, let's get in the ship and go over to the other side. And on their way to the other side, there was this huge storm. And they feared and thought they were going to die. He said, why don't you have faith? Why are you not believing? So we're going to have some storms before we get to the other side. But is he not able to take us there? Did he not know that storm was coming when he said, let's go over to the other side? And what did he do? He got up off his pillow, woke up from his sleep, and he told that storm, peace, be still. And then they were wondering, what manner of man is this that he speaks to the storm and it obeys? We better know who it is that we're walking with. We better know there's nothing impossible with him. We better know that with him we win. And it will be rough at times. But we're going to hold on to him. If we're crying, if we feel like our body's dragging, if the enemy is attacking our minds till we're not going to make it, we're holding on to the one that we know wins all the time. So this battle's not yours, it's mine. The enemy you see today, you're never going to see no more. Woo. Revere him. That's a special group of people who revere him. Talk to you soon. Talk to you soon. Be encouraged, brothers and sisters. Be encouraged. And stay in the state of courage that you're able to stand up against the wiles of the enemy and everything that they're going to throw at us. Tehillim 56 says, what time I am afraid, I will trust in you. I will praise your name. I gotta go. Talk to you soon. In the name of Yahuah, the Most High. So worthy to be celebrated, exalted, and esteemed, and honored and revered is the Most High, Yah. And we do that. Amen. Ashe, ashe. Until next time, continue to fight that great fight of faith. Remember, if you go through the water, he's with you. Through the fire, he's with you. He's with me too. I'm throwing myself in there. That's us. He's with us.